Oh, greetings. All right. Thank you for joining us for tonight's broadcast from a kitchen somewhere on Earth. So I could always do a cooking show background, cook everybody some eggs. That's about all I get. I think that's the only thing I'm capable of. So all right. So apparently there's a lot going on, well, sort of, in the world. We'll just jump right into it. Now, I'm going to go into, well, I guess, all right, we'll just go into it. Not this, not yet. This is Tony Robinson, sentenced to 13 months for reporting on pedophile grooming trial. And I don't know a whole lot about him, but he's been going through this a lot. Well, also, this is kind of giving the deep state a little bit of, they don't want this attention, but they wanted to nab him. So I believe most likely his sentence will be shortened because of this, but it's hard to say. But basically, I want to throw him in a fryer, basically, as well as I can. He has a lot of light on him, so anything is possible. But it's really hard to, it's hard to say, because, what can you do? So it does bring a lot of light to London and its police state. That's been going around. I mean, it's been 1984 for a very long time. It hasn't been something recently, obviously. They take away people's guns. And basically, they have an immigrant problem there also. But as for the pedophilia situation, that's an area that is, I don't think he was doing anything either. I'm just going by what I feel, but I believe that was the whole deal. He wasn't doing anything, but they wanted to nab him anyway because he's been trying in their beginning of their business. And the pedophilia situation, obviously, it sends a negative energy around the earth. It causes a lot of difficulties for, you wonder why the world is at a low vibration. That's one of the reasons. So that's one of the reasons what they're doing. So it's hard to say where this is going to go. There's a possibility of his sentence being shortened, but also it might be lengthened. I don't think he's going to disappear, but I think they'd like him to disappear, basically. Put him in a jail somewhere and just let him rot there, because he's on the deep state's hit list, or Illuminati hit list, or whatever you want to call it. So I think they want to make him disappear, but he has a lot of light on him, so it's hard to say. It's unlikely they would go ahead with that. But anything that's connected to the sex crimes here, yeah, it's pretty terrible that it's even going on. But for him to be going, it brings a lot of light to them that they don't want. As for him being jailed, but also showing their force, but they don't want this attention either. They basically want everybody to shut up and do what they want. So it's hard to say. I mean, the Queen of England, could care less probably. So of course she's just going to probably look the other way, which doesn't make her look too good. Of course, she never really looked good to begin with. None of that looks good. So, but there's not much they can do either, because they are under control also. So even if she did want to do something, she can find herself not the queen anymore, from what I gather. So obviously, so to give you a different take on it. He's protected by obviously his angels, but there's a lot of reptilians around him that want him to disappear. I could really feel that. Yeah, this is the reptilians that are part of a lot of the cabal energies. Basically, that's too bad. Well, hopefully people can find enlightenment within themselves to end all of this. Hopefully they can. All right, to bring some more positive talk, look, disclosure is right down the road. Look at that. Unclassified 2009 report. I shouldn't have used this one because Ad Central. My computer's not running right because of it. So yeah, disclosure must be right around the corner. I mean, this is declassified from 2009, so we're talking really good. I don't think this is an old one. This is a new article about. This is an old obviously this is old, but I think this is a new story from what I get. It's off the coast of Mexico, 2000. Okay, that was another. I can't keep up with that one. So that's interesting how they're leaking this stuff. They're doing it on purpose. That's where it's going to go to more disclosure. I hope so. It's I'm going to go a little bit further into this. I don't know if this is part of the old story or the new story or whatever it is, but I just saw this recently, and I think this is another one of the leaked stories. I can't take this anymore. Jeez. Here's like 300 ads, and here's another ad while you're at it. I guess I should use a blocker for this. Real life X-Files reveals Britain tied to bury its UFO problem. Oh, this is an old story. I didn't know about. Oh, I didn't. I thought this was the one. Well, either way, I don't think I covered this. I don't think so. So I'm not going to read through it, but let's see. Yeah, they do have a definitely problem. A lot of crop circles are done in London and, well, England for that matter. There's a lot of. Okay, I can't take the ads anymore. Okay, I got enough of that. Hopefully, hope those sponsors of those anyway. Jeez, advertising, I love it. But yeah, the X-Files. Well, that is obviously a lot of Men in Black energies are around that. Basically, to keep those things kind of hush hush. They can't keep everything hidden, as we're going to more of a disclosure awakening. Of course, a lot of it is spiritual, but I'm not sure how the public's going to handle that part. I mean, they want to see these beings on the physical front. Well, some of them do. But as for connecting spiritually, that's kind of like a foreign land you're bringing to them. It's like it's, it's just, you're all crazy, basically. It's like, geez. So I'm not sure. I mean, it's alien disclosure. I mean, it's like false disclosure in a lot of ways. I mean, it's good that they're bringing more of this UFO stuff up. Not that's going to help because the public isn't ready for it. Always mentally, physically. Some are, even if they don't understand spirituality in any shape or form. But it still has a lot to go. Humanity is in denial of its own self. So connecting to an alien, I'm not sure how that's going to go. I mean, they want it like a movie character or something. Just, I don't know what they're doing. It's a scary world. So as for alien disclosure, yes, there are X-Files, definitely. As for the movie, it was like a soft disclosure, but also to put fear out there, like the TV show X-Files, to go into that a little bit. But not entirely. It was like false disclosure, but also disclosure. A lot of stuff is real, probably, that they were even going into. Basically, the cow mutilations. Of course, they probably added a little bit of fiction to it. But some of the creatures that were probably, like the monster of the week, I imagine a lot of those do exist in astral in some shape or form, or some planet for that matter, Alpha Centauri. A lot of like the swamp thing, something like that is an Alpha Centauri. Of course, they have a lot of different beings, but that's, give me one example at least. So, and also with human, like with us, we're still a small percent, but other species are humanoid, like the felines and even some insectoids. A lot of beings are humanoid, but human like us, like the Yell, are very similar to us in some cases. Palladian is still a small percent. So other worlds connecting to aliens is a little bit easier, obviously, too, because we're weird, they're weird, we're all working well, but we're like the freaks, connecting to an alien mantis, that's a little bit kind of off the chart in some regard. Well, going into all that, maybe if that made any sense, but either way, for a human, we feel like, we're, obviously we're here all by ourselves in the universe, right? Just as well, there's some to think that way. But the children are going to be, and I wouldn't say invaded, but unlocked from their old ways. Slowly. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Alien disclosure is one thing, spirituality is another. And humanity connected to the spiritual side is, how well is that going to go? I think you're better off showing them a three-eyed alien than you are to show that they have ability, people have their own stuff. Yeah. Because at least with a three-eyed alien, you have something to play with. Connecting to yourself is it's like a foreign country. It's like, yeah, I'm going to sit this one out. Because a lot of people are not ready to connect to themselves. As for why, it's like going to a mall with all these new things coming into this body. It has a lot of stuff they're still trying to figure out and explore, and don't get in the way of that. That's kind of like how it is. Look from what it seems like. Not for everybody, but a good amount. Is basically the red pill is not the real red pill that some people are taking right now. The real red pill is that's when you really open up your reality, and being here is not so easy anymore. That's the true red pill. As for, let's see, to continue on to Tony Robbins' situation, I probably have to bring somebody to connect more with that. They're not giving me a whole lot of information on that. Obviously set up. And obviously they wanted to get him out of there, just shut it out. So where he's going to go is not looking good. It does bring London it gives them a lot of attention that they don't want. So they might get more protests and everything. You're having protests now, they might get even more. They might let him out early. It's a possibility because they don't want this heat anymore. But also they want him to go away. So letting him out might cause more problems. So they're not going to make him disappear as much as they'd like to, because I definitely feel that. Oh yeah, they want to just have all of a sudden he has an accident and goodbye. I believe that's exactly what they want. So as for, anyway, enough of that. Okay, as for UFO Disclosure Project, it's going really well, isn't it? Hope you're all having a great Memorial Day weekend, those in the States. Yeah, it's been, I guess we have a tropical storm coming through in this area, or something around those lines. Okay, one moment. Okay, I'm going to bring somebody in. I'm not sure who. Somebody has a message. Basically, they're blocking me from connecting to anything from what it seems, which is fine. Get a delivery of information that they would much rather hear than hear from me. I guess a lot of alien beings are just, I guess I'm muffling a lot of them recently. So now they want to be heard in some shape or form. Basically, our connection with the alien beings will obviously become more clear once people get over of them not having any abilities, and you do have your infinite being. And most aren't trusting that because it's not on your evening news. CNN doesn't talk about it, or Fox, or anybody. So connecting to yourself is a little bit more controversial. Of course, there are many in the spiritual community, that's for sure. But how many of them are bringing an alien energy into their lives? That's probably not very many. It's not very many. Trust me. I don't know for a fact, but most likely not likely. Because they want to keep it human. They want to keep it, especially when they're getting all this attention or whatever. They want to keep it that way. But basically, obviously, the aliens are here to tune us to up our frequency with those that are ready. And so to up that frequency basically is to go to the next leap. It's like we want to we want to remove this reality, or, make it better. And so we have the choice individually to allow these beings to help us in a positive way. Of course, you have the other way too. It's open. You can do whatever you want. But in a positive way let me tell you, more people know about this, make life a lot more interesting. Yes, we are going in at a time of basically where everything's going to we're kind of in that already, where things are going to kind of slow down event-wise around the world. There's going to be always something going on here and there, but things have not exactly been that exciting. I mean, not really have that event in London. Of course, you have the thing in Syria that's always blacked out. You have Yemen that's blacked out. Of course, you don't hear about Yemen being talked about very much. You hear about this guy in London, but what about Yemen? Not a word on CNN, but mostly not a word on it. I guess it's not that interesting. I haven't checked up on it, but it just came to mind. As for our soul transformations, basically, you have what do you want to experience, basically. You want to have these alien beings that you trust to assist you in opening up your Kundalini, opening up your... Of course, they can only do it to a certain degree, but there'll be a time when it has a lot to do with timelines, from what I'm gathering. But there will be a time when you're just like, okay, it's time to open you up a little bit more. Every once in a while, you get a download where you feel it differently and all that. So eventually, those days will come where you're allowed to open up a little bit more. You can hear more and see more, what you need to see at least. There'll be a time when you feel more alien here, at least more activated, actually. Well, alien to everybody else, for that matter, where you feel like, but you have a balance where you can handle it. I think we're going into that phase little by little. Little by little, yeah, very little. But we are going to, that's what, those that are aware of us, those are not, they're going to stay in their nice cubby holes of reality. Whatever the hell that is. Apparently it's a lot more comforting there. Yeah, it is. Then when you awaken, obviously, because when you awaken more and you see what's going on, especially the implants people are going through, and archons and reptilians having a blast and doing things they probably should not be doing. I'm not going to go into that. So just got a flash. Yeah, it's kind of like having... I mean, can you imagine you're just minding your own business and you have reptilians like doing foul things around you and you can't tell? And that's just not reptilians or other beings. Just give an understanding of that. Could it just give me a flash of that? So I might as well bring it up. If I have to see it, I might as well let others see it too, without going into details. But that's what's going on. Until we wake up, we're kind of like a joke. Oh, it's funny. That's right. I read one of those comments on that 2009 thing on the Daily Mail with all those ads. I read one of the first comments that, yeah, humanity is arrogant. Not all, but a good amount. And we're pretty much something about us blowing ourselves up, which we probably would have done by now if it wasn't for the positive aliens to be here. So as for the Earth transformation, see, 5 to 6 months I'm getting of yeah, I tell you, this week coming up feels very bizarre. I felt it last week. I didn't understand. I still don't understand it. They're not telling me anything. It's like a week of transition. Of course, I've been traveling a lot recently, and I didn't see any of that coming. So I don't know what this is. That's it. It's just for me. I think it's for others. I don't know what's going on. Next week feels strange. We're going into the summer, and June, July, and there's a lot of... I'm not going to say, but we're going into a new world for sure, of some shape or form. Let's put it this way. This week coming up does not feel like a normal week. It feels just very unusual. I don't think I'm the only one that's been picking up on stuff like this, but it's not bad. It's just strange. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's bad because you won't be able to see that, most likely. It just... yeah, I'll put that out there. All right. Universe, beings. Yeah, because they're only giving me so much to download. Kind of an idea who's here. Who's here, at least. Oh yeah, tomorrow I'll be back. in the fort for the online stuff. I want to test out my live stream again. So it was another video. That was very strange. Luckily, I got it saved, but still. Yeah, because it's not getting as much attention as I could have before. So it's fine. Yeah, I guess people aren't ready for this, or it's just a little bit too truthful, probably, about the universe and manifesting. Because when I connected to the universe, I got attacked. And I feel them blocking it too. So I just got with it. All right, we just will live with it. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting to the at least the reptilians. I imagine others are too. Yeah, we're just in the front row of, yeah, it's not that enjoyable, but it's just the way it is. Welcome to the real world. Yeah, they're not very friendly. There are friendly ones here, but the ones ruling ruling the world, and humans not saying it doesn't exist, none of that's real, and they give their power away to them, and it makes our lives that are awake miserable. Because like, if more people would awaken to all this, we'd be in a different world right now. It won't be perfect, but it'll be a lot better than what it is right now. Nobody be crying about Trump because they'll see what's going on with him. The more people awaken, the more we get to see. More people close down, the more we're just sitting around waiting. Just good old-fashioned waiting. So it has lots to do with human consciousness. Not to say disclosure won't happen in some shape or form. In some shape or form, most likely. Scenario, what I'm getting, because I'm going to bring somebody in, I'm kind of just shooing them away, but is, where am I going with all this? Thank you for removing my is us opening up more. I mean, can I, it's like a soft disclosure of us seeing more clearly. Those of you that are wherever you are out there, that is what I'm seeing as a high possibility. You'll see more of what's happening. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll have more of a clarity of who's here, what's going on, which is pretty cool actually to think about it. In a way where you don't go crazy, in a way where you can handle third dimension and the higher dimensions without losing your mind. I believe that's what they're. All right, we're always getting scenarios here. That's one scenario. That one of us becoming more aware of us here would I would believe help. You won't have mass hysteria, that's for sure. Because if a ship shows up in the sky and, goodbye sanity around the world, it's already not there as it is. But the children are not ready to hear all of this. Not really. They're laughing at us. Well, good for them, but there's a lot of beings here that are laughing at them right now that are causing a lot of manipulations here. You should see what the reptilians are doing here. And that's just one species. Great. Usually I don't see that stuff. I've seen it now. I've seen things. It's like when humans laugh at us for talking about aliens, reptilians are seeing them, and yeah, well, good for them. Like I said, it's easier to be asleep than awake. Not to say it's not that bad to see. It's just all this will make a great movie. I give them that, or I give us humanity that, for that matter. There's probably movies of this going on in other worlds, and people are like, I can't believe people aren't noticing what's going on. Yeah, we know that. It's like a nightmare. It would definitely help things. If more people would just open up to themselves, we would definitely have, we'll have a different conversation here for sure. We'll have more visitation in the physical. Not that we're having any right now, but we are having some. Have more visitation in the physical, basically go to other worlds. Obviously, nothing's going to be perfect, but we'll have more clarity of what's going on and less of the BS, such as the news situation. All that will be removed, most likely. We don't have any use for it. If there is anything of like a news source, it'll be of positivity, sending you energies. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect, especially when you're coming from a world like this. There's always going to be some kind of manipulation somewhere. So as we go into more of an open earth, there's going to be beings here just going to keep screwing around. And they have every right to. Obviously, this is their baby, and it's going so well so far. It's going so well for them. Jeez. You know, I wasn't going to go in this direction, but I kind of leave these open anyway. Like the Lord, like I don't know if I want to call them Lord beings, but the masters of our reality, reptilians, Syrians, Pleiadians, those that are messing with us. Yeah, what they, they're just hitting us with everything they got, basically. Obviously, they know humans, for the most part, human consciousness is shut down. And they do everything. That's when obviously materialism is there, debt, whatever they can do that pisses you off. Whatever they can put into your life to lower your energy. Now, if you have a lot of money, they find other things such as relationships, and they kind of steer you into another relationship. Oh, I found a wife, kids, or whatever. Everything's going fine. All of a sudden, you have a mistress. That's 2 or 3 mistresses. All of a sudden, now you're a woman. That's a hell of a soul growth there, isn't there? But it's also, not to say it's all manipulation, but it's also them playing around. Not to say you can't be a woman if you don't want to. Go for it. Do what you got to do. But this is to say they do interfere with their lives. They do come in there. And it's part of lessons. It's like I didn't plan on being a woman in this life, and now I am one. That's them playing their game. Of course, it's all part of soul warning, of course, but that's how they operate. Okay, so that's the thing back there. So I guess I got it kind of. So, so breaking out of the jail of reality is, they're having a blast, basically. They're having an absolute blast. They want you to focus on material life, false spirituality called, church and all that. That's, it's what you want to make of it, but basically the false gods are there for you to throw your energy into it so they can continue to mess with you. Basically, religion is another way of putting like a dome over your eyes, obviously. They want to lead you into their purgatory that they created. Here, we got you in this one. I'll take you to another one. Not to say everyone's going to go there, but anyway, it's there. If you have a lot of fear in your life, it's probably good to get rid of all that. Eventually, at least, before you leave here. Well, I wouldn't, like I said, most people that cross over are fine, but some just deliberately want to go and see where else they go. So they bypass the spirit world and go to other places. And that's up to them. I believe for the most part, about 90% of people going to the place they want to go to. I believe so. Most that are like listening to this are probably going to be fine. Majority, at least, I would think so. There are others obviously aren't, but that's part of their path too. So I believe if you're afraid of going through that, most likely you probably won't. If you're afraid you might get bypassed, or you'll probably be fine, unless you want to experience it. Most don't want to experience it, so most likely that won't happen. Because I get that question here and there. I figure I put it out there before I bring somebody in, which I haven't done yet. I'm kind of put them on the block, on the holding block. I'll be right with you. I don't know who it is, but because I want to go into more of a little bit. Basically, obviously how humanity is being downgraded on a daily basis is basically, conversation of opening yourself up is not mainstream. Obviously, you do have metaphysics, but even that can go so far. Most of it does not go very far. It does, sort of, but yeah. It's like, I'm okay here being human. I'm connected to my guides, my angels. I don't need this alien thing. I don't trust it. It's a little bit weird. So, and the idea is, so that's where we're at, I think, for the most part. We have spiritual openings to aliens. but because they can help us, and they can also cause us to be a pain in the ass. Well, the other thing is to, like, the ones that are a pain in the ass, the more that it's a balance you got to get to. It takes a while to get there, depending. There are ones here that are nice. There are others that are, days of our lives, pain in the ass. As for master manipulators. And they basically connect to, also those that manipulate, they do connect to your DNA in some shape or form. Basically, it's like they kind of know what's going on somehow through technologies. They monitor us. So they know where we are. So when we break that monitoring and just say, screw you, obviously now you're on a hit list. All of a sudden, and you're getting depressed and you're getting this. And, because they're like, they want to shut you down as fast as they can. So you're gonna make your life hell. Depending on what you're doing. If you're exposing them, life doesn't become so easy. But if you're, anyway, they mess with everybody, obviously. But with those that are in, your typical family unit, those get hit the most. Actually, they're manipulations because they want to destroy the family. They want Timmy, the son, to go in the wrong direction. They want the parents to fight. They want the kids to go into darkness, smoking, whatever it is, to destroy their lives. You wonder where these beings are. Trust me, they're in their backyard. They're everywhere. Yeah, they're there to steer you into darkness as far as they can. Their goal is to own your soul, basically. Yeah, that means they win. So, like the vices, obviously everybody has vices, but how you gonna let those vices control you? So, nobody's perfect, obviously. But the more of you become aware of what's going on, it's like, hello there. This is not you. This is other beings coming into your energy, screwing with you, rewriting your thinking and your thought patterns. The more you become aware of that, the more we can have a more decent world. Always become more aware, because you don't see them. They don't want to be seen. That's the fun of it. When you're not ready to see them, most people aren't ready to see them, obviously. They can't handle themselves, let alone a being that's a reptilian, or even canine beings aren't very friendly either that are here. We got all kinds of stuff here, obviously. Reptilians are mostly, we gave ourselves, our consciousness was given away to. They want it. They want our consciousness. You can see it through war. With other beings, through Anunnaki, they want it. And we're living. Want to know how it feels like to live on a reptilian world? Well, here you are. This is it. This is there. This actually could be a lot worse. It's pretty bad. But this is it. So they feel like, people say that none of this exists. They don't see it, but you are living in a reptilian reality, and they're not willing to look at the truth of it, because they don't see these beings. They don't believe, but yet you don't believe it, then you get more. You wonder why you're getting cancer at this age, or wonder why your health isn't so good. You wonder why all this is occurring, because there's other beings here playing you until you wake up. Not to say all is going to go away, but let me tell you, become more master of yourself. Of course, the more you know, then they'll attack you more. But at least you know where it's coming from instead of not knowing. Yeah, they go into schizophrenia. They go into, that's part of the government. So the government's, because another thing also, the government's hitting us with all this stuff too, to lower our vibration, with stuff we're eating, it's screwing us up, so it makes us more vulnerable. It just never ends. Like, we're under a complete attack. But that's the idea, is to open the mind up and you'll have a different world. It will help. But people have to see these things, so I'm not sure what the aliens are going to do. They're going to show themselves. If it's going to cause mass hysteria, they might as well just do it and get it over with. Just take the big leap. They might. I would hope they would I would rather them do that. I mean, opening us up is good too, but having them show themselves would be even better, because they've boasted to both worlds, basically. Yes, those of us that are ready, Not to say anybody's really ready, but if you're ready, and I believe they know who you know who you are. Doesn't mean you're watching this, but they know who they are. Maybe we can handle the responsibility of having a higher understanding. But who knows? I mean, what they show is not going to be easy, obviously. But it's not easy now either. So, yeah, if they make an appearance, that would be, a real appearance. Yeah, they're not giving me anything on that, obviously, but because right now society isn't really going anywhere. But you never know. There's so many different scenarios that can occur. I believe it will happen this summer, but I can't be 100% on that. I know I said there's something around July, still a possibility. Yeah, because they're hitting me. I mean, I'm getting good stuff. I'm getting not so good stuff. And I haven't gotten this before. Ever since I did that disclosure video, it's been a strange reality. So, yeah. It's not all walk in a park. That's for sure. Let's put it that way. All right. I've been enough gabbing. All right. We'll bring somebody in to bring us some enlightenment news. Help us out here. I'm not sure who was here. I know the Men in Black are here. That's for sure. I don't know if I want to bring them in. Oh, yeah. I'm not sure how much viewership I'm going to lose with this, but I did get a message. Well, why not, right? I guess so. This is in the channeling I did yesterday that I'll be uploading eventually at the parks about alien anal probing. Basically, the Men in Black, they do it in astral. They don't do it to everybody, obviously. They also come through the eyes, basically to is basically if they can't manipulate you here and there, they go other places. In astral. And so people are saying that. See what you're up to. Even in astral, because they can blind you where you are, that's a major hit. Basically, you feel like you're at home or wherever it is in astral, and you find out you're somewhere else. That's when they want something out of you, they want information out of you. I think it's happened to me a couple of times. I'm not sure how. Wonder how I know all this. Well, it came through a channeling, obviously. So I'm a prime target, obviously. So that's why we're kind of worried about my connections with good reason. I wouldn't worry, but yeah. It's the real world that is a little bit hard to digest. It is so real that people are like freaking out. I mean, if they can't handle this conversation, how can you handle the real thing? And most can't handle the real conversation, most likely. Or I'll be the number one trending on YouTube right now. That's not happening. If they can handle all this. So, yeah, when you get into the real business, yeah, it gets very, very bizarre. Yeah, there's good. There's also, I'm not sure if I wanted to see all that, but thank you. Yeah. So, all right. All right, we're going to get on with it. For those who are new to this, is ivantalk.com. We have private sessions to go further into your spiritual growth if you're interested. Google Hangout, Zoom, and channeling by phone. It's all recorded. Doesn't all have to be aliens. It can be angels also and higher self. You also have questions. I'm on 5 days, I think, something around those lines. Also, Spirit Social, the same thing here. It's just a different site. Might be easier. And also have other healers and channelers. Much recommend. So yeah, it's just the same thing as this. You can't get this one to work. We have this one. This one might be a little bit easier, possibly. It's hard to say. We also have. What am I doing? Yeah, we have the social network here. Much recommend that. Yeah, I just posted a couple of things there today. And we have the Jake comic. Of course, I didn't update this, but I updated this. You have the new J comic, can read it or order on Amazon. Is now available? I believe it is. And I think this is all in order, in the right order. I was gonna look for another way of showing this, but it's all here. It's basically here's the Easter Bunny, and Easter Bunny gets fired because he's works for the Illuminati, human trafficking, and his father is with the Skull and Bones, I believe, something like that. So yeah, Easter Bunny is our crime. Illuminati exposed. Yeah, it's not doing too good. Easter Bunny is not doing. So Jake took his spot, and he gets knocked out. Now the Easter Bunny looks like Rambo. So you can check it out here. You can also purchase an issue if you like. Much recommend, or much thank you for those. Thank you for your support. Yes, welcome to the land of the insane. All right. Okay. All right. We're gonna bring in somebody. I think. We have a little bit of everybody here. Well, sometimes it's good to bring in the MIB. Not all the time. Sometimes it's good to get their point of view. They're not negative, but is truthful. Let's put it that way. Maybe a bit truthful, but I think it's good. It's good education if you can handle it. Yeah, people aren't ready for this stuff, but that's okay. Those are you. Those that are. Thank you for being ready for all of this. As for the rest of humanity, your days are coming. So coming. I'm not sure how long this how long can this go on? I mean, I know it's been going on forever, but how long can this charade last? I mean, it's lasted this long, but eventually we gotta start peeling the reality apart. So, all right. Not sure how this is gonna go, but all right, blessings. Here we go. Positive energies from the land of the bizarre. All right, much love. Here we go. Love and light, we are the Arcturians. Blessings to you. We are the Eye Councils. Yes, our energy to you during this broadcast. As yes, your community opens up, you connect more to yourselves. As yes, there is much change on the way, as always, but yes, there are transitions. As you're most likely your culture going to a new vibration, a new way of looking at things, but not what you have seen. Many of you are going to eventually see time-wise possibilities when the time is right. As yes, there is many major shifts on the way. What is going on is basically your Earth is tipping into a new, you can say galaxy in some regard. Your galaxy is much shifting as you are. As many of the worlds around you, that doesn't mean that they're right around the corner, but those in your solar system and others are bringing their vibrations stronger with yours, basically. Yes, the new Earth energies are coming in, but also basically the new Earth means a new human. As basically the human here is being retired, but not entirely, of course. A new way of thinking. A new way of thinking is basically being brought into your consciousness. It has not been opened up yet, but it is wrapped. As it brought to you, eventually things will occur to open up the wrapping. Basically, the present is there, been delivered to some of you, not all. Eventually will be opened up when the time is right. Yes, there's many Anunnaki beings that are causing difficulties for some to think. As basically they see the change and will suppress those that are involved with the shifting and transition. So some of you might feel you are getting hit with more than what you're used to. It's because some beings don't want to share your light. They see what you are doing, they're trying to suppress you, tire you out, shut you down as much as they can. But yes, most of you, continue. One moment. Yes, your Aztec beings, the beings of your history, are becoming more involved also. Those that brought you pyramids also are being more prominent as your transition. Not to say it's going to be a heavy shift, but it is a shift that will bring in more of your understanding of Egypt and mysterious places around your earth. Some are connected, as you see, as the third dimension, as for seeing the negativity around those areas, as that's what your history wants you to remember. There's much positivity around those areas before that occurred. And of course, they are trying to hoax that, as because that's the vibration they want to continue. Many of you came here to change that, to take places of your past and to heal the energies. So your Egypt can be positive and other areas around your earth, the spiritual place, to activate themselves. This is what you're working on at this moment. It is not an easy task being on this earth, as those places of Egypt and your Machu Picchu, if I pronounce that, is also going to be activated. Even Machu Picchu will be activated, even with the ruins. Yes, the energy is very Atlantean there, as they'll send energies to your skies. Many of you can connect to those vibrations at this moment. See, there's much being uncovered. Yes, those places will be always protected, but also great change is coming. Yes, it'll be very gradual as your Earth consciousness. You as humans are basically shift out of the old timelines. Many timelines are being retired at this time. As for what they thought was going to go, things are shifting to a new vibration. Many of you are allowing this change to occur. You're willing to accept the responsibilities because it's not always going to be an easy existence in many of you know that. The truth can be very heavy for a reality to accept. So many of you are taking on the burdens like, sure, give it to me, I'll do it. And then you have to become unpopular or popular in the wrong ways, lose friends, gain friends, whatever it might be, as transition is upon you. The idea is to continue working through the heart. But some of you are feeling the pressures as because change is on its way. Yes, we are, here for a short message. Blessings to you as you go into this new direction. Greetings, this is MIB with the Men in Black. Agent, and blessings to your society. We are trying to be as positive as possible. Yes, what is going on? Yes. Oh, yes, this Tommy. Yes, your elites basically want to remove him. They are being unlucky to do so. They also want to make an example of him. Basically, what's going on with that to give you more understanding of it. Basically, they because they see timelines obviously before most of your humans. Your humans see it, but of course they forget in this environment. Basically, also your elites are getting kind of scared. They're not as powerful as they thought they were. Many of you are coming against them. Now, those in your normal 3D world are not really seeing the change. Many of you are going to more of a wizardry type of thought patterns, little by little, as you connect more to yourself. I know I'm only speaking to a few of you, or many of you, but what you connect to that. Basically, you're seeing the world in a different vibration. You're stopping a lot of the manipulations going on here. That's why many of you are here. You're not here to be on video and just making funny faces. You are here as an astral being. You're here on Earth, but also astral to get things done. Some of you feel very tired. Some of you feel very energetic because you are here to stop these things. Those in the third dimension, some are, but they're not willing to take the full responsibility of waking this person up. Many of you are. Many of them aren't. Many of them are still in the victim mentality. Oh, the Illuminati is here to get us and here to knock us out. And we're being strong, but we're also being weak. And we're doing the best we can because we're not unzipping the soul of who you are. And that is my message. transition is occurring. Your elite are not as powerful as they used to be. You are getting back your power. Many of you are taking responsibility of being ridiculed, but also showing that you mean business. It's not the business that you would call normal on your planet, spiritual business, spiritual removal of lower energies. It's not just the aliens that are doing this, you are doing it too. You as a ground crew human means more than all these, these aliens are helping, but you are making it happen by being here. You don't always know that you're doing it, because probably for the better. But when you come as a ground crew human, you're getting things done. And those in the third dimension mentality are also, but they shut down and their human becomes very weak spiritually. So they go into more of the ego and whatever it might be, because they're not really ready to see it. They are involved, but they aren't involved because they're not allowing the human to open up. Because yes, it'll be lower in funds and it won't be so popular. You know, it has things like that. Hurts business. They don't want to be seen. They don't have to be seen. But it is taking the spiritual responsibility. That's truly what this is about. Spiritual responsibility of basically woman up, man up, woman up, of who you are, what's going on. It does help because you remove the manipulations. You're also, like I say, getting things done. You know this. You don't have to be on video to do this. You be a regular person, but because this human that you are is sending energies out like you would not believe. The more certain you are of who you are, works with your astral. If your astral is uncertain, if this is uncertain, your astral is uncertain also. Your astral can be very certain, but if the human is not helping with that, I know it sounds strange, but it's good for the human to be awake too. Your astral person can do a lot, but there's also limitations there. When you take a stand, because your life takes a stand too. It's like, yes, my astral is very powerful, but my human is lazy as hell. Because it's lazy spiritually. Not just having an open mind, shutting things down, being scared. There's nothing wrong with being scared, but taking back your power. Yes, there's a different vibration from me. One that is much needed to be heard. The reason I'm bringing this up, because it needs to be heard. Don't let the rumors take you down. We're all in this together. Even those that you don't see. Trust me, when you see us, you'll be a lot of gratification. You'll be just honored. And I know it's a weird word to use, but we are honored, but you are honored. We're all honored. And those in the third dimension don't think we exist will be, oh, I knew that all along. Or just, why didn't I see that? There's going to be regrets there eventually, but that's okay. Blessings to you.